Welcome to the Ladies Discourse. This is your girl Taz,
And your girl Chef.
and we're your host on TLD. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Today's topic is on children and summer breaks, and some of the things children can do during their summer break. Some of the things I wrote down was, children can play outside, that's a staple. I mean, if you have a backyard, they can play in the backyard. You could turn on the sprinkler system, or you can allow them to use the water hose and just have fun, for those who don't have a pool. You can help the young ones, or even, middle schoolers or high schoolers learn how to cook. It may be some new cooking ideas, or some baking, or desserts that they can learn how to make or create. Some
That's a
people
good idea.
mhm, you got scrapbooking. During the summer, a lot of people are doing things. They're going out of town, they're spending time with friends and family. That'd be a perfect time to put a scrapbook together and record your summertime. You can join, some of the kids can join groups. You know, maybe this would be a time for them to pick up an instrument, learn how to play, a different instrument, pianos, drums, or something like that. Maybe join a group where gamers, kids are, love, their video games. So maybe they could join communities where, they exchanging tricks and ideas, or, or helping others get past certain boards. A lot of people are into photography. Maybe they could pick up that, as a hobby, and learn how to take pictures, and, maybe enter contests and things of that nature. Of course, you got the summer camps in the YMCA. They also can learn, like I said, different hobbies. I mean, some people consider, learning a new instrument or something like that as a hobby, but maybe they could become, start collecting things. People still collect a lot of things. It could be stamp collection, money collection, just um, just old vintage items, just things that are worth money. People get into a lot of trading. I see people, being into trading sports cards and Pokemon cards, and stuff like that. And a lot of times when people do a lot of those collecting, they get into selling things. So that could be a form of a little income for them. They go to the beaches, have picnics in the park. Or, I mean, in some cases with people that live in rural areas, what about taking the kids to the farm, and speaking to the owners, and maybe, going out there learning about the animals, or helping out, on the
Mm.
farm with feeding the animals, maybe milking some cows, or, just things of that nature. So I think
Mm.
those are a few things that the kids can do during the summer, you know.
Those are a lot of good things. Some of those things I didn't even think of.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's quite a few things. I think the most important thing is just gotta, you know, kind of plan stuff out, or just just to keep them busy, because time does go fast, and sometimes kids do get bored when it's not really a little structure involved. So let me ask you, Sha, what are some of the things that you've noticed work to keep teens in particular entertained and safe during summer breaks?
One of the things that comes to mind when I think of teens, especially boys, but I know girls play also, I think teens love to play basketball. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like, and that's something really simple, just a lot of people have them at their homes, a basketball hoop, and they could just play for hours and hours, and it looks like they enjoy it. It's a good form of exercise. It gives them
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity to maybe meet some other young teens in the neighborhood. So that's something I think is really good to
Right.
have. And for the parent that happens to have the basketball hoop or court at their home, they're fortunate to know where their kids are. They're right at home,
Right.
and they could be the house where all the kids come to.
Absolutely. And that's a
Another
good.
thing.
Mhm. Well, no, I'm gonna just say this, but that's a good one, because, like I said, I've seen plenty of times when those courts are full, or like you said, even if somebody's garage, or the outside of the garage, should I say,
Mm,
it can get pretty crowded, and like you said, they can go for hours. So that is definitely
mhm,
something that is very entertaining for really any age, but definitely for children.
mhm. And another one for teens, I think is a good time to maybe get a summer job. A lot of
Mhm.
places are talking about the shortage of manpower, especially for like fast foods and grocery stores. That could be a great time for children to get a job and earn some extra money and meet some new friends and maybe figure out what they may want to do career wise. They may find out, oh, there's things about this I do like and things that they may not like. So I think getting a summer job, maybe, like I said, in their teens, maybe about 15 or 16, they'll have some
Mhm.
extra spending money to maybe buy some school clothes when school starts and pick up some new skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And another one I was thinking of is overnight camps. When
Mhm.
I was growing up, I went to overnight camp probably 3 summers, and usually we go, I think, for a month at a time. At the time, I was living in Brooklyn, New York, and one of the camps I went to this particular one twice. It was in Sharon, Connecticut, and it was very rural compared to Brooklyn, New York. But it was a great experience. We were in cabins, and it was a Christian camp, so we went to mass every evening for a half hour, and um, you know, campfires and stuff like that, swimming. So it was a good experience, and this also gives the parents a break because
Right, right,
your child is going for, it just depends on how long, could be a month at a time. So it gives the child something new to learn and gives the parents a break.
right.
So those are just a few things
No,
that teens may want to do during the
right,
summer.
right. No, those are definitely interesting, especially, like camps. Because I think, if people got a good group of people that they know is going and, the people that's hosting it are pretty decent, that makes it all
Hmm.
the difference. So,
Hmm. Yeah. And all camps aren't created equally. And one thing, now they have all different kinds of camps. When I was growing up, they didn't have like computer camps, or they got basketball camps. I know, well, they had this when I was growing up, like cheerleader camps. They have all different kinds of camps. It doesn't have to just be a generic camp. So that's something that a child could look into, something that they're interested in, and go to that type of camp. So, Taj, you already gave a number of ideas of things to do, and some of those would be great for elementary school kids. And I was just, I mentioned that it would be good possibly for a teen to get a job. And I see in Georgia, a teen could start working at the age of 14. Do you think a 14-year-old should start working, or do you think they should wait until they get a little older because they have the majority of their life to work?
well, mm, I think 14 is fine. I think 14 is fine. Um, Preferably 16. I think is even better. For them to start working. However, I definitely would say it really would depend on that child's maturity. Just the
Mhm.
level of maturity they have. And if they're mature enough, then I think it'll be a great fit for them. Like you kind of mentioned earlier, it'll help them learn, just what working is all about and how to work with others and, understand finances and what it means to get a check and how to save. And, like you just said earlier, just to buy things that they need and want. So yeah, no,
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with that at all. But I think maturity definitely plays a part because not everybody is ready. I think 16 is a little more ripe and I think they're a little more prepared at that age,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. And a lot of times by then they may be driving, so they could
Right.
take themselves to work if they live in an area without public transportation.
Right. Right. So let me ask you, Shaw, do you think parents should have summer activities mapped out for their children? And if so, why?
I absolutely think they should have activities mapped out for their children. Maybe
Mhm.
not for every hour of the day, every day, but
Right.
for a large part of the time. I think it takes the stress off of the parent if they know,
Mhm.
okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to go swimming. And Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, we may go to the movies. And then it allows the children, gives them something to look forward to.
Right.
So, just like in our regular lives, if we plan out our week, what we're going to eat, where we, what days we may go to Bible study or what days we may work out, it just makes the week flow a little bit easier if we already know
Mhm.
what we plan to do. Yes, the plans may change, but
Mhm.
at least you have a blueprint to go by.
Right. And I think it cuts down on the boredom, when it with children and just figuring out what we're gonna do or, just or getting into other things that you wouldn't want your children to get into that can cause problems during the summer. So yeah, I think if something is mapped out, it makes it, and like I said, it don't always have to have to be relating to money. There's a lot of things that, could be done free and to make
Mhm.
things interesting and fun, so they can say at least they did something, you know,
Right.
versus sitting in the house while, because a lot of times parents still got to work. So.
That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah. What were some of the fun things you did as a child during the summer?
Hmm. I just think it was just normal stuff. I didn't do anything too much, that was so extra or so out of the norm. Well, I ain't gonna say out of the norm, but just that was just so different. Hey, we went outside. We might have went out of town. Of course, we're gonna play with our friends. Maybe have some sleepovers. Just hanging out at the neighborhood parks, riding bikes.
Mhm.
Just nothing
Mhm. Block
extravagant.
party.
Right? Yeah, nothing too extravagant. Just like maybe like you said, going to festivals and concerts. So just things that was going on at the time. And
Mhm.
it's the same thing when I started having children. It was the same thing. I always kept them busy pretty much, like going to the parks, the zoos, and you got, we used to go to the library a lot, at one time, and we're talking about carnivals, like I mentioned, the beaches, just different places. A few, and like I like to look up different things sometimes. So I know a couple of times we went to a place called Diamond Crater, and that's just where you can go dig for diamonds, and whatever you find, you get to keep. So stuff
Wow.
like that, it's really interesting. We done been to Indian
Mm.
reservations where you done seen some of the burials and stuff like that. So, just try to do different things that we haven't done before, and hopefully that they felt that was entertaining.
Mhm. Oh, cool.
So let me ask you, Shah, can you think of like maybe three things parents can do for the summer with their children that are either low cost or free?
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. One of the things you mentioned, swimming. I think all children enjoy swimming, and there's usually most apartment complexes have pools in the southern part of the United States, and a lot of the subdivisions have pools also. So that's something you could do right in your neighborhood. And I find it's an excellent way to meet and interact with your neighbors if you go to your neighborhood pool. When I first moved into my subdivision, we did have a pool, and that's how I did meet some of my neighbors. And during the week, I would go after I got off work, and there was hardly anybody in the pool. So I think it's an amenity that a lot of complexes have that people don't use. So that's a
Right.
one good thing is the pool. And I was just looking up in the Atlanta area. There's a park called Piedmont Park, and they have free swimming during the weekdays from 3 to 5, but it did say to check their Facebook page to make sure the pool is not being serviced on a particular day.
Okay.
So I think most children love to swim. I know
Oh
I love to get in
yes.
the water and have fun, and it's a great exercise to burn off some of that energy.
Right, and it's
So,
perfect because it's summertime and it's hot. And like I said
mhm,
again, even when there's nothing else to do, that's like a go-to, if you have access to
mhm.
that. So it's
Yeah,
like, why not? It's like, hey, I didn't
yeah.
do nothing all summer but swimming. That was still
Mhm.
something to do.
Yeah.
So
Another thing, some churches have vacation Bible school, and the purpose of that is to minister to children in the church and create an outreach to the surrounding community and create evangelism opportunities. My godmother, she used to direct the vacation Bible school at her church for many years, and took place in July, and the kids would go for about 2 weeks in the evening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
wow.
So, yeah, a
Right,
lot of these activities is a way to meet other people and meet
right,
other children, and they get to learn about the Bible.
right. And gaining
So,
some exposure to something that's different.
mhm,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, in a lot of cities, they have outdoor movies in the summertime.
Mhm.
That's something fun for the whole family. The family could pack a picnic basket and check out a movie. You could find in Atlanta area, there's a place called the Atlantic Station, and they have movies on Thursday evenings in June and July. And some of the other surrounding cities, they have it also. So
Right.
people could bring their own dinner, or they have to go options out there that people could purchase. So those are three fun things to do that's low cost
Right.
during
Right.
the summer.
Right, and then too, like I say, summertime is the times where you got birthday parties going on, you have cookouts, so it's always something going on during the summer because a lot of people are looking to do things. The weather is nice, so it
Mhm.
just a lot of times check your local listings, go online, Google what's going on in my city this weekend or this month, and a lot of times you will definitely see a calendar, a list of things, whether it's concerts or,
Mhm.
circuses or, parades. I mean, just whatever, your city may be, putting on around that time. It's definitely going to give you a blow by blow, day by day, or, by the weekend. This is what's going on. And those come in handy because a lot of times, that's not something they advertise on the news, or you may not necessarily even see that in the newspaper. So I think it's always a plus when you could just Google what's going on, around me or this weekend. And it
Mhm.
just pretty much picks
Yeah.
up your location and just give you a list of things. And a lot of times I like that too, because sometimes you come across things that you wouldn't have came across.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, you wouldn't
saying?
have thought of.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Like I'm in Texas, so I had stumbled on some stuff like that just recently. They have this movie on the roof night, and it's the same thing like you kind of mentioned. It's outdoors, and they're
Mhm.
playing like it's old school movies, but it's a lot of them. When you think about it, a lot of them you didn't see. So you pick and
Mhm.
choose. Like, hey, well, you know what? I mean, I want to see Freddy Krueger, but I never seen this movie, so let me check this one out. And what's
Mhm.
cool about it is, you're outdoors, you got a nice atmosphere, and then they give you individual headphones. So,
Really?
and I've seen stuff like that. Even a lot of clubs now are getting into this, um, where they give out headphones,
Mhm.
and you get to
I've
listen
seen
to
that on TV.
right, and you get to listen to the different music that you choose to listen to if you don't want to listen to what the DJ is spinning at the club.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's interesting. So people are thinking outside of the box and coming up, thinking and finding creative ways. Let's not forget, like places to eat and stuff. I mean, it's eating, but going out to eat is an adventure. You know what I'm saying? You have a,
Mhm.
a group of people, family and friends. That in itself can be a good experience, and enjoying your time, eating, laughing, taking pictures. What about the ice cream shops? Ice cream
Mm.
shops, icy shops, those places are probably flooded just due to the heat
Yeah.
and just want something yummy. Just yesterday I stumbled on this new place that we went to, And I was blown away, and I was like, "Wow, this place had the ices, or let me say Italian ices with soft ice cream mixed." And I
Mixed.
was
Ah.
yeah, right. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Wow." And what is the other one? Uh, I can't think of the other one. Starts with a G, but um,
Gelato, gelato.
July. I think that's just yeah. I think that's a term, gelati, something like that. I think that's it. But I mean, I was like, okay, I know what Italian ices are. You know, if everybody know what ice cream is, and you wouldn't have never thought in a million years to. And not necessarily they're mixing it, but they'll put the Italian icy. They'll top it with a ice cream. Like yesterday, I had like a strawberry shortcake. And when I tell you, and they put the crumbs on top, like like the graham cracker or whatever, it was delicious. So it's like I'm
Mm.
eating icy, like a strawberry icy with ice cream. It was just like I'm like, now who came up with that concept? But when I say it went, it went, and they just had different um like mixtures that they had made together, cookie and cream mix or whatever. But I have, like I said, I just happen to have the strawberry shortcake, and like I said, it was no cake involved, and it was delicious, and it made you feel like you did have cake involved and you didn't, and it was
That
like a perfect
sounds good.
combination. It was. So so those are things that people can do as well, or take the children to a nice good treat, you know
Mhm.
and just try something new, go somewhere you haven't been before, stop going to the same restaurants, try something new, venture
Mhm.
out, try another type of food, depending on your culture. Hey, if you're only into African food, maybe try some Indian food. Or if you're only
Mhm.
into American food, try some, Caribbean food. Like kind of switch it up, and just get out there and experiencing things, and enjoying the summer while it's here.
Yes. 'Cause it goes by super quick. I
It
know when the
does.
summer ends, I'm like, "The summer's over already," 'cause I like warm
Mhm.
weather. And I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh gosh, here fall is coming already."
Right.
So
And
yes, take advantage of it while it's here.
right. And I'm the same way. I love the sun. I be getting burnt, but I love it. Um,
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think those is a lot of good little things. And like I said, people just have to not make it so stressful. Have a plan. Have a couple things in mind. I mean, with the little children, I mean, come on, you could down. I know everybody has coloring books. I mean, you could just do different projects. Say, hey guys, we're gonna have coloring contests. Everybody gonna sit together. Who colors fast or the fastest, or who made the best art.
Mhm.
Think about, we go to those places called drinking paint, or however they say it, sipping paint or whatever. You could do those with your children. Hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
have some Kool-Aid, we're gonna pour in some wine glasses, or it's just things that you can do. You get your
That's a good
TV.
idea.
Absolutely. You get your TV, you turn on to one of those shows, and you watching them show you how to paint a picture. And that's stuff you can do as a family. It's in the comfort of your home, everybody's safe, and you're doing something that will create a memory, you
Mhm.
know. Um it's no different, like I said, like I mentioned earlier about cooking, and making desserts, and another thing I didn't mention too, but I meant to mention, get with the grandparents. I mean, I know a lot of grandparents are around their grandchildren, but for those who are not, like, take them children to their grandparents. Not only they can learn some wisdom, they could pass down things to them that will last them a lifetime. I
Yes.
mean, how many grandparents have secret recipes, and I mean, just so many different things that you will be surprised that can help that child along life. Or just, like I said again, if hey, grandma gave me I'm the favorite grandkid or whatever, and grandma gave me the secret family recipe, and now look, I started a business making millions. You know what I'm saying? But if it wasn't for you
Mm.
visiting grandma or grandpa, you might not have never
Right.
gotten that, you know those gifts, or those lessons, you know
Mhm.
so yeah, definitely.
That sounds good. I think that sums it up. It'd be nice if you guys put in the comments things that you plan to do for the summer, or any other ideas you may have that we didn't mention. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Anything else, Taz?
No, just tell everybody to have a happy summer, safe summer, and get back to school and do it all over again.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Bye.